Let me ask you something that might be a little uncomfortable. Do you remember what you thought you'd do once you got that raise? Once you started earning more? Chances are, at some point, you told yourself, once I make more money, I'll finally start saving properly. I'll finally start investing. I'll finally get ahead. So here's the real question. Did that actually happen? For most people, the honest answer is no. They got the raise. The salary went up. And somehow, almost mysteriously, so did their spending. The nicer apartment, the newer car, the more frequent dinners out, the subscriptions they didn't have before. 5 years later, they're earning significantly more than they used to. And yet they're saving roughly the same amount, or sometimes even less, than before the raise. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't bad luck. This is a well-documented psychological pattern called lifestyle inflation. And understanding it might be the single most important financial lesson that almost nobody actually teaches you. Let's talk about why this happens. Because it's not about weak willpower or being bad with money. It's about how your brain is wired. Human beings are constantly comparing their current situation to a baseline. Usually, the baseline is whatever they were experiencing just before. Psychologists call this concept hedonic adaptation. Essentially, whatever level of comfort or luxury you experience becomes your new normal remarkably fast. And once something becomes your new normal, it stops feeling like a luxury. It starts feeling like a necessity. Think about it this way. When you were earning less, driving an older car felt completely fine. It got you from point A to point B. No big deal. But the moment your income increases and you upgrade to a nicer car, that older car, the one that used to feel perfectly acceptable, suddenly starts to feel embarrassing, or outdated, or beneath your new income level. Nothing about the old car actually changed. What changed is your reference point. This same pattern repeats across almost every category of spending: housing, clothing, food, entertainment, vacations. Each time your income rises, your reference point shifts. And what used to feel like more than enough starts to feel not quite enough anymore. Now, here's where this becomes financially dangerous. Because lifestyle inflation doesn't just creep in gradually, it's often actively encouraged by the environment around you. Think about the messaging you receive constantly. Advertisements that tell you that you deserve an upgrade because you've worked hard. Social comparison with peers who seem to be living a certain lifestyle. Even well-meaning family and friends who say things like, "You've earned it," whenever you're tempted to spend on something bigger. And here's the trap. Each individual purchase feels justified in isolation. One nicer dinner, one upgraded phone, one slightly bigger apartment. None of these decisions feel reckless on their own. But when you add them all up over months and years, they quietly consume the entire increase in your income, sometimes more than the entire increase, leaving your actual wealth building capacity completely unchanged, or even worse than before. This is why you can meet people earning six figures who have less in savings than someone earning a fraction of that amount. It's not about how much you earn. It's about the gap between what you earn and what you actually keep. And that gap shrinks automatically unless you consciously protect it. So let's talk about what actually protects that gap, because this is where the real financial leverage lives. The single most effective strategy against lifestyle inflation is something financial experts call paying yourself first. Instead of waiting to see what's left over after your lifestyle expenses each month, and then trying to save whatever remains, you flip the order completely. The moment your income increases, before your lifestyle has a chance to adjust and expand, you immediately redirect a portion of that increase into savings or investments. Here's a practical example. Let's say you get a raise of $500 per month. Instead of letting that $500 flow naturally into upgraded spending, you commit right away before you even feel the extra money in your account to automatically investing $300 of it while allowing yourself to enjoy $200 of lifestyle improvement. You still get to enjoy some of the benefit of your hard work, but you've protected the majority of that increase from disappearing into invisible lifestyle creep. This is fundamentally different from trying to cut your current lifestyle to save more, which almost always fails because it feels like deprivation. Instead, this strategy works because you're not taking anything away from your current life. You're simply deciding in advance how new money gets allocated before your psychology has a chance to normalize it as necessary spending. There's another powerful concept tied to this, what some people call the 1 year rule, deliberately delaying lifestyle upgrades for about 12 months after any increase in income. Why does this work so well? Because hedonic adaptation needs time to take hold. If you immediately upgrade your lifestyle the moment you get a raise, you never give yourself the chance to experience what it feels like to actually keep that extra money working for you. But if you wait even just 1 year, continuing to live at your previous lifestyle level while directing the increase toward investments, two things happen. First, you build meaningful momentum in your savings and investments during that year. Second, you often discover that your previous lifestyle was actually completely satisfying all along, and the need for the upgrade fades entirely. This single habit on delaying lifestyle inflation by even 1 year at every income increase compounds dramatically over a career. Someone who receives 5 raises over 10 years and delays lifestyle upgrades by a year each time can end up with dramatically more invested capital than someone who upgrades immediately every single time, even though both people earned the exact same total income over that decade. I also want to address something important here, because this isn't about living like a monk or denying yourself every pleasure in the name of frugality. That approach rarely lasts, and it often backfires into resentment or burnout. The goal isn't zero lifestyle improvement. The goal is intentional lifestyle improvement. Deciding consciously what upgrades genuinely add value to your life versus which upgrades are simply happening automatically because your brain is chasing a new baseline it hasn't questioned. Ask yourself honestly, does this specific upgrade genuinely improve my quality of life in a way I've thought about? Or am I upgrading simply because it's available, because others around me have it, or because it feels like the expected next step at my income level? Some upgrades absolutely are worth it. Better healthcare, more time with family, reduced stress, meaningful experiences. The goal isn't to eliminate spending, it's to make spending a conscious choice rather than an automatic psychological reflex that happens every single time your income rises. Let's bring this together because I want this to be something you can actually apply, not just an interesting idea you forget by tomorrow. The reason lifestyle inflation is so dangerous isn't that spending money is bad. It's that it happens automatically, invisibly, without you ever consciously deciding it should. Your income goes up, your baseline shifts, your spending rises to match. And unless you interrupt that automatic process, you can spend your entire career earning more and more, while your actual wealth, your savings, your investments, your financial freedom barely moves at all. The fix isn't complicated, even though it requires discipline. The next time your income increases, whether it's a raise, a bonus, a new job, a side income stream, decide in advance, before the money even arrives, exactly what percentage goes toward assets and investments before your lifestyle has a chance to claim it. Consider giving yourself a full year before making major lifestyle upgrades so you can experience the compounding benefit of that decision first. Because here's the real truth: it was never about how much you earn. Plenty of high earners stay financially stuck their entire lives because their spending always finds a way to rise exactly as fast as their income. And plenty of people with far more modest incomes build significant wealth simply because they protected the gap between what they earned and what they kept. The size of your paycheck was never the deciding factor. The size of the gap you protect. That's what actually determines whether you build wealth or just build a more expensive version of living paycheck to paycheck. If this changed the way you think about your next raise or bonus, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to know exactly how to structure your savings and investments once you've protected that gap, that's exactly what we're covering in the next video. Drop a comment below. What's one lifestyle upgrade you made recently that you're not sure was actually worth it? See you in the next one.